Hi everybody, this is Diane. I am working on these two beautiful embroidered covered journals. These are vintage embroidery pieces. I would say this one is older than this one, but I really have no way of actually aging them, judging the age. But after the video posted of when I put these covers together, someone commented that they would really like me to show the construction of the journals. How she said, please make the journals on video. And I did do a second video where I was making ephemera for these journals. And then yesterday I worked in here on these journals, but I didn't do a video. Sometimes allergies kick my butt, and so I really wasn't feeling up to par, and my throat was sore, so I didn't do a video. But and then I saw her comment, so I thought I'll just take you through a tour of what I've done so far, and we'll do a little bit more work today on some more ephemera. So the kit that I'm using is called Embroidered Ladies of Paris, and it's by Tailor Made Journals on Etsy. And this is what the pages look like. One side features an image of a lady in Paris fashion, and the other side features some embroidery. And they're pretty, sort of simple looking, but not simple, because the embroidery and the fashion add the interest. But there's not a lot of color, and I love that. It's very neutral, and then there's a little bit of color in the fashions. Just a little bit of blue here and some pink. I have 3 extra pages because you get 20 pages in the kit, and then I printed a couple extra because I was going to divide them up into 3 journals, but then I decided to just make 2 journals, and I ended up with 3 pages extra. And so I'm going to do something with these, and then you get 6 pages of journal cards. So you get the lady in the middle and then some embroidery around. And I want to make something with this page. We'll get to that. Another kit that I'm using is from, well, let me show it to you while I try to think of Nostalgia Graphic Land. And it's lace ledger pages or something like that. I'll link that too. But you get the ledger lines, and then you get lace and some vintage looking edges. So I put that on the backs of my embroidered ladies. There's another one. And there's some blues and pinks and maybe green too in that kit. So I'm also using some small Nostalgia Graphic Land journal cards that just go perfectly with this kit. So those are the 2 main Etsy shops that I'm featuring in these journals. So I'm just going to take you through. This is the journal that, I think this is the cover we put together on the video. I sewed around it. I know I didn't do that on camera. And folded this edge over to make a pocket here. So there is a video on how I put this cover together. And okay, so on the front of each signature there are 3 signatures, and I think there's like 11 pages in each signature, 11 folded sheets. I put a piece of lace on the front of each signature. And I will talk about the pages that I used, because that's part of the process of putting the journal together, is selecting the pages. I used digital kits and scrapbooking paper, and then I chose some lined papers or plain that you can write on, and wallpaper, and anything else. I did have some other things pulled, but I didn't use them all. I had wrapping paper pulled, and just maybe some other lined papers, but I had plenty here because I'm putting 3 of the digitals in each signature and 2 scrapbook papers. So then what I did was I lay all of the pages, the types of pages out. I have them all cut and folded, and then I lay them out, the digitals, the scrapbook paper, the music score paper like this. I have them all lined up in piles, and then I just kind of start picking them up and putting them together into a signature. This is how I work best. Maybe in your mind, for the way you work, it would work best to decorate your pages and then put them together. But for me, it makes more sense to have them put together so that I know where the lace is going to be in the signature and where each pocket is going to be in the signature, things like that. So this is how I do it. So I have my signatures all put together, and then I take the pages and work on them individually. Okay, so I did put lace and on the edges, and I did put quite a bit on for these. I put one on the front and one near the center. This is actually the middle page. And then I did another piece of lace on that. Just because I wanted these to be a little more frilly. And I don't like to use ruffled lace, so it's not as frilly and ruffly and lacy as some others make their journals, but I like it. So that's just my own aesthetic, that's all. This is a piece of music score paper that I just got in Happy Mail. I think that's the one that came in from Lisa, or not Lisa. I didn't get any Happy Mails from any Lisas. I don't know what made me think of Lisa. Kim. Oh dear. And then I have scrapbook paper. And now this is one of the embellishments that I made on the video that you saw on Friday. So I made 6 of these, and they're different sizes and different shapes for the backgrounds. I'm not going to talk about how they were made because that's in that other video. So this is a tuck spot, and I will have to put something in there. I did some stenciling on the plain backs of the scrapbook papers. And there will be a lot of journaling space. This came from a ledger book that had ledger paper and then yellow paper in between. I used wallpaper, and I took these embroidered ribbons to make a pocket on the wallpaper. And then I made some fabric flips using some fabric and some kind of lacy or embroidered fabric, and then some lace. I wanted to have a lot of embroidery and textile type of things. So I might do another pocket with fabric in these journals. And that's pretty much what I did. Oh, there's another one of the journaling cards. I just inked the edges and put that on as a pocket. And then this is one of the tags I made in that ephemera video. And I'm going to add some things to that. And I think that's all I've done. And I've done that in each of the signatures. Yep, that's the end of that signature. So let's just take one of the signatures. Oh, well, let me show you one other thing. The wallpaper page, some of the pockets are vertical. So in that case, I have larger tags to go inside. And I have some other things from TaylorMade journals that I'm using. Since these are French ladies, I had purchased some French ephemera from Lorna at TaylorMade Journals. So this is antique French receipts or ephemera. I can't remember the name of that kit. And antique French checks. So I'm going to link Lorna's shop, and you can just go to her shop and just type in French in your search, and it'll bring up these things. So I'm folding these and using them as ephemera in the pockets. And since we have a large pocket here, I'm going to fold this piece, and I will distress the backs too. And just tuck that in there. Okay, so what we need to do is I think we need to make a couple more of these. So let's do that. I have my cards cut to a size that will fit in the pockets and accommodate the pictures. So let's start by putting some ink around the edge of this. I dripped glue on that and it glued my pad shut. I've never done that before. This is Vintage Photo Distress Oxide. Doesn't have to be Distress Oxide. It's just what I have. It's hard to find just regular distress ink anymore. Tim talks about the differences between Distress ink and Distress Oxide, but in the stores all you can find now is Distress Oxide. I wish they'd carry both so you can choose which one you want. And I cut this card to size, like I said, and I have these cards that I got from when I worked for Hallmark. I have some of these cards, and I just used this to trace my tab. I wanted my cards to go this way, not this way. So all I have to do is trace around that and then cut that off. And I want to draw on the wrong side of the card. Not that it matters, but because I can erase. I try to cut within, leaving the pencil mark on the piece that gets cut off. Sorry, I'm getting notifications. Somebody's liking a lot of stuff in my shop, I think. So there's just a little curve there, and then I've cut that. So I'm just going to cut that part out, and then I will use my paper cutter so I can get this part nice and straight without having to have the pencil line there. Now curve that. Put this in here and I line up that pencil mark that I made with the cutting line, and then I will cut and line up this with where I want to end. There. So it'll go this way. And I do have a little bit of a pencil mark here. And now I will just ink this. Sorry, I'm getting my corner punch so I can punch that corner. Turn that. I am going to ink the back of it too, but I don't need to do that right now because this will be a card, so you'll see the back of it as you pull it out. Oh, I'll just turn my sound off, sorry. I think somebody is liking all of the digitals I have in my shop. Yay! So I'm just going to glue that on, and then I have this label stamp, a long skinny one. I stamp that on a scrap of coffee dyed paper, and it's just the right size for that tab. And that's all I do for these. I could do more to the background, but I don't need to make everything elaborate, there's simplicity in these designs, so I don't want to go overboard with embellishments. So that can go in one of the pockets. And I have a couple more I can make. And I have all these journal cards that I can use, just tuck them into a pocket somewhere. And I do have to make more pockets. I try not to put everything in the front half. So where's the center? Because I do tend to, I start at the beginning and start working, and then I end up with more stuff in the front. So I try to remember to, you know, do something in the front and then something in the back half. But right now, most of the stuff is in the front. So I will have to maybe put a fabric pocket on the other side of the wallpaper or something. One thing I want to do is I want to make an embellishment to put here on this flap. And I thought that I could use these cards to make embellishments. So some of the cards have this embroidery design overlaps onto the figure, the square anyway, but not very many of them do, but some of them do. So I just found a sheet where all of these are clear of the embroidery, so I can cut the embroidered sections and then cut these squares, and I can make embellishments with all of that. So I'm gonna cut out a rectangle. I'm gonna try to limit my talking because my throat's getting sore again. I have the boys here today too. They're on their computers in school. But Teddy has he has 2 classes that aren't in session today for some reason. Their teachers are doing something else, I guess. So after his first class, he has 4 hours with no class, because that includes his lunch break. So I think he's only having his first and his last class today. He's pretty excited. But what am I going to do with a wild and crazy Ted for 4 hours while I'm trying to craft? He'll probably just play Plants and Zombies on his phone or something. Plants versus Zombies, I guess. So it's nice that you get 6 pages of these cards, so you can feel free to cut them up, cut some of them up and do something different with them. Of course, if you only got 2 pages, you could print them twice and do what you wanted with them. That's the fun with digitals, you can print. Teddy?
Yeah.
Are you done?
No.
Okay. You can print them as many times as you want. What?
Oh.
I'm making a video of it. You can say hi.
Hello.
Hi, there's Teddy.
Sorry, this is cringe.
So let's figure out. So these, I have long border type things and these little pieces, so I can do all kinds of things with these to make embellishments. Let me get a punch. I don't think this punch is gonna, it's too close to the edge. I could use that. And if I don't like it, I can just trim it, cut around the image. Okay, I guess we can start with what we have here. So I don't really have an idea. Well, I have an idea. I shouldn't say I don't have an idea, but I haven't planned anything out. I brought over some laces and bits of fabrics, and we're just going to make some clustery types of embellishments with these. Let's take this pretty lady. I have this strip of a heavy-ish off-white fabric. And I obviously will need to sew, but I'm not going to do that today or on this video because I'm not at my sewing machine. I wish I had the kind of setup where I could just bring my sewing machine in front of me. Can't tear this fabric apparently. But I don't have that kind of setup. So I either am at this station or at the sewing machine station for videos. If I didn't have the camera here, I could move back and forth between the two, but I don't know how to edit. I keep saying that, but it is true. So you take what you get with me. I can sew her on there because I will like the look of the stitching around it. And add a little bit of lace, maybe. Okay. So that'll look nice with the stitching around it, and I think that's good enough. That's all I need. Maybe that's all I need. So I'm just going to put a little glue to hold her down there until she gets sewn. I will probably make 4 of these. I'm just using a pin to pull threads out to fray the edge. Since I couldn't tear the fabric, tearing the fabric would create a frayed edge. I thought I could cut pieces out of this lace. So this lace was glued onto something. So there are little bits of glue and whatever it was stuck to. So I have to work around that when I use this lace. I think I like it behind her. This fabric frays very easily. So here's the section I cut off of that other lace. Just got to trim off all the little nubbins that were attached to that other piece of lace. Because they look whiskery. We don't want whiskery Parisian ladies. And I think I'll just use one section of it. So if you have lace, examine your laces and see if there are laces that you can cut apart, like I cut apart these journaling cards. Use things to your advantage for what you need. Yeah, that looks pretty, just like that. And then I will sew around it. And I'll show you what we'll do with it. I'll add it to one of these flaps. And I'm going to use the same piece, or the other piece of lace for this last card. I have to find a different fabric though. I have this little container of neutral fabrics, whites and creams and beige. This is similar in weight to the other one. Not quite as heavy, not quite as textured, but it's not just a plain muslin. I don't know what this kind of fabric is. I think it looks better on that side of her because she has something in front of her. She's holding a parasol or something. I think I should be able to tear this piece. Yes, very easily. Okay, so we have 4 of them. And I'm going to make some with these little pieces too. Let's see what kind of pretty fabric I might have in here. I think that would go. Pink, yellow, there's a blue, I have some squares left of a Moda charm pack that I got, and I think they would work well if I could come across them in here. But I'll just use what I have. So let's take this border right here. And this is a piece of the Moda fabric. I'm just going to layer up a few fabrics and laces. Yeah, that would look nice there. So I'm just going to glue them in place. Okay, there's a cluster. pretty, but I don't know if the flower is too big. Where are my other pieces? There's a circle. I don't think I like it in the circle shape, so I'm just gonna trim around it. A little scrap of lace. There we go. Cluster number 2. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 clusters in each book. So I need 12 clusters. So I won't do them all on camera, but you see where I'm going with these. Oh, let's try this one. I'm gonna trim this one. So pretty. And I love that pink. That's one of the Moda fabrics too. This bit of vintage lace. Oh, I have this little bit of green too. And it matches that little tiny bit of green there. So this is a gorgeous piece of old lace, and I've cut some pieces out of it. So I'm just going to cut another one out of it. this lace, you could cut off that border. That would be beautiful. And of course the one at the bottom, and then all these little pieces you can cut apart, or it's gorgeous to use as it is. I don't know if I got that at a flea market or if somebody put it in a Happy Mail. I've had it for a while. You done with class?
Yep. Hello again.
Now you have a 4-hour break?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Aren't you a lucky boy?
I sure am.
Okay.
Having no.
Alright. Are you gonna kill some plants with zombies? Kill some zombies with plants?
Yes. Yes, I am.
See, I don't know how that stuff works. But he knows. Okay. And I might do some stitching on these too, just for looks. And some of these clusters that I make might just be, sorry if I was out of frame, pictures or fabrics and laces. They don't have to be these images on every single one. Okay, so there's that one. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I just need 5 more. That's not bad. Let's look through our stuff and see if there's something else. Oops. Nope, I guess not. Because my time is up. I don't know why my camera shuts off sometimes right about this time. And if I try to make a longer video, sometimes I can make a longer video, but I don't like it when it just shuts off and I never know when it's going to. So I am just going to say goodbye and hope that you enjoyed the few things that we got to do today. We made these clusters, and this card. So I'm going to go back through the books and see what else I need. I will probably do another video maybe at the sewing machine, doing some fabric pockets. I might cut up some embroidered pieces that I have and make pockets. I want to include as much embroidery as I can because the name of the kit is Embroidered Ladies of Paris, and these are embroidery designs. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Have a creative day today. Bye-bye.